So I may well be, and it may be the truth, I am an idiotic, stupid dog. All right? And I was going to open with some kind of thing that explained what's going on. But lo and behold, what's really going on, from some kind of a Swiss chalet, I envision personally, the producer, that lily white something generation that's 24 and doesn't have their head out of their ass yet, he sent us a new packet of material, slid under the door. You know, you shouldn't slide shit under a door. You shouldn't be able to slide. If you're in a hotel, maybe the newspaper or some, anthrax could be slid under the door. But you don't want to have a lot of shit anonymously delivered by a stealth secret delivery person who slinks away before you even see who they are, and all of a sudden you got a packet of material and you're reading this shit cold because your producer, the man, your producer de camp. Your producer de camp is supposed to have something on the ball. He's supposed to be a high IQ motherfucker who's maybe eunuch-esque. He might be eunuch-esque. He's a eunuch. He doesn't know how to forge ahead, steal the day, whatever. When they hand you a cold script, you might have to just buck up and do the best you can with it. I should have a chair. They should have had a dog chair for an old crippled dog so the dog could sit down and, he'd be able to explain it better when he gets home. It's 7/16/23, our day of the Lord, cross-reference with the little spray tan girl. We never involved a little spray tan girl, but this is a little spray tan girl, whatever you say, sampling, so to speak, or when they pay Kanye West to diddle around like a fool with Smelly Melly, or when Kanye West paid, whatever the guy, Shawn Michaels, the professional wrestler. No, it wasn't Shawn Michaels. It was Paul McCartney, the ex-Beatle. Cayenne paid a bunch of money to just twiddle his guitar. No, I'm going to jail, whatever it was. No one knows. But, we're going to get serious now because this is a dog take and all the cross-reference and everything. Little spray tan girl, it's a name drop. It's what you do in Hollywood where, like, Sylvester Stallone bumped into Johnny Travolta in one of those movies, but then there was never any Rambo. Rambo bumped into Johnny Travolta. In all the previews, you saw Rambo bumping into Johnny T, but then you never saw Rambo in the movie. It was false advertising as far as we're all concerned. That's what we remember to this day, Rambo. False advertising. Okay, so the reason I'm, trying to, as an idiotic, stupid dog, like, stall or whatever, a stretch, is because this is a Miranda Sings Broke My Heart video. And you want to know something about the dog? The dog was a big Blues Clues man, and he became afterwards in his later, distantly from the Blues Clues days, he traveled. He traveled from like Gilligan's Island, okay, to Archie Bunker, okay, to off thing with, like Barney Miller, looking for something special. He found Always Funny in Philadelphia. Then he found Miranda Sings. Then he found it. A Latter-day Saint, Miranda Sings. So, whatever. That's me, the dog. I did. Whatever. It's okay. Miranda Sings. All right, this is the post, It's like a dog news boy, and it's like the dog is like wrecking, wrenching, what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, Shakespearean, how I have to say that Miranda Sings is a pedophile. Are you trying to torture me by saying that Miranda Sings is a pedophile? That's my riff on this portion of this take. Are you trying to torture me that Miranda? No, Miranda's not a pedophile. I refuse to believe it. Okay? But Louis J. Gomez was talking about her. It's a old, new, got sweep under the rug. It's an old, new, got sweep under the rug. That's where Louis J. Gomez picks up a story. He's trolling. He finally found something that was already there. It's like great before him. Gomez, try to see the forest before the trees next time before you pick up a story 5 weeks too late. So Lewis was reporting as if he was on one of them not New York City, but, maybe London or maybe something in France or someplace even Berlin later, where they're on a rooftop getting bombarded. Like, we're getting bombarded. We could get shelled. We could get killed at any moment. The planes are flying over top of us. They're dropping bombs. We could get blown up. We're sitting on a rooftop. Hopefully we don't die. And they described that shit in detail. It was horrifying. That's how Luis C. Gomez was describing how Miranda sent a 14-year-old boy her panties. As a dog, I said, and this is the way it went down. So this, whatever you say, an informant told me, the dog, that Miranda sings. It was an informant that the producer had hired, because the producer knew I wouldn't believe him. So this informant says Miranda Sings sent her underwear to a 14-year-old boy. And I was like, I don't believe it. And the first words out of my mouth were, I don't remember if it was the producer himself or if it was the informant, because I talked to them both. I don't know which one that first broke the news to me that Miranda Sings had sent a boy. All right, but they didn't say boy, sent a 14-year-old. And I said, like an idiotic, stupid dog, I said, a girl? Because Miranda's hanging out with the girls. She's maybe in some kind of a character mode where she's hanging out with the little tiny girls. She's sending some underwear this way or the other way. He said a boy. The informant or the producer, I forget which one it was, said a boy. I was like, a boy? Are you sure? I mean, I don't know. A boy. The answer came a boy. And that would be like page 1 of the script that the producer told me he was dictating that I had to do. And then he said the details of what? Like he was on a roof and they were flying B-52s over top, dropping F-16-17 explosive devices, big rolled up, whatever you say, big ordnance, big rolled ordnance, big heavy, blast bombers, cave bombers, block bombers, foundation removers. They were carpet bombing, so to speak, and they were having a glorious old time. But, to get back to the thing at hand, Miranda Sings, a 14-year-old boy asked her for some used underpants. And as a dog, again, I was like, did you say used underpants or panties? And the informant, I forget if it was the producer or if it was this informant he hired, said, used panties. And I almost vomited a little bit. I said, that sounds flimsy. What is your second piece of evidence? And they said, the informant, I think this was it wasn't the informant, it was the producer said, the way he interacts with teens, the way he interacted with teenagers made little girls upset. I said, where's your thing? And the producer said, Luis J. Gomez took a deep dive and he did an exclusive take. And he figured out, Luis did, that, there was some wicked, skanky, hanky-panky going on, and he exposed it. And it's just written there in stone now. No one can... So anyways, I said, bullshit. I don't believe any of this shit. You can't trust Louis C.J. He's like Louis C.K., Louis J. Gomez. They're both fucked up. They don't know what's going on, really. They have voices in their heads. What they're talking about could have happened. Maybe it didn't happen. It's probably half visionary, half it happened. That's just my guess. So the producer's like, fuck you, dog. Here, talk to... And I felt like it was like one of those syndromes. I say the Helsinki syndrome. I think it depicts it better. But that thing where Patty Hearst got and she fell in love with her captors, I call it the Helsinki syndrome. Other people call it something different. But that thing with Patty Hearst, I'm not sure. I had a click in my mind that maybe that's what that was. Until I heard the investigator. I said informant. I think it was an investigator that the producer had hired. And this investigator, I think, could have possibly been the actual real little spray tan girl when she didn't have a spray tan, when she was trying to exist. If she had had a spray tan, she would have been spending the money. She didn't have no spray tan, so she was trying to earn the money. But, and I'm not even sure about that. That's like dinosaur hunting. They think they can hunt for dinosaur bones and say, hey, I found a fragment of a bone. Build me an 80-foot dinosaur out of that fragment real quick. Get some claymation. It's all in my mind. I think it happened. Then maybe they had feathers, maybe they had scales. I don't even know. It's all right. Just build it. That fragment tells me that dinosaur was 125 tons. It was 150 feet long. Build it. That's a good thing. Build it up, boys. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are the biggest scam. I just want to tell you. The dog will tell you. Dinosaurs are the biggest scam. They really existed. They weren't that big. No, they're not that big. Come on. They're not that big. I don't think the dinosaurs of the day were any bigger than Donald Trump is today. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's true. But the informant, who was really an investigator, she says, I hate to break the news to you. And I start getting quivery because I'm a big fan, I'm a fan. The dog is a fan of Miranda Sings. And then, when I had that pit in my stomach kind of feeling like this is it, Miranda Sings is going to be known to be a pedophile from this investigator. The investigator says she's not a pedophile. She's just really fucking creepy. And, the investigator who was an informant said she's not a pedophile. She's just creepy in a sense. That was the quote. She's just creepy in a sense. Underwear, excuse, or condemnation. That's what I'm talking about. Miranda, you are a woman, honey. Let me explain it to you. You shouldn't, at this point, you're so beautiful. When I saw you on Letterman, I'm an idiotic, stupid dog. I would have run 78 miles to go hook up with you. If you petted my head and my scalp gave me 5 ear itches, I probably would have had an orgasm even though I'd have no balls. But you, my woman, I would have run 78 miles to sniff your hair, to sniff your bangs. Let me tell you something, honey. You're a woman. You don't need to send your underwear this, that, or the other one. You married this creepy actor. He loves you. Hopefully he's taking everything and he's lighting your fire. You're building an in-ground pool and one of them things where you have a fire pit out in your backyard with a big screen TV. It's beautiful. It's the things like Fred Flintstone envisioned. It's all right. It doesn't matter. But, honey, you're a woman. So you don't have to, send any underwear, get in that deep with the kids, have a special relationship with the kids where you can make money off the kids. Maybe you're trying to get a little scratch up. Maybe you're like, I got to get out of debt. I got to pay off the kitchen sink. I got to get some ham hocks so I can make some better soup beans. We don't know. The one thing I want to say is that when I found out that Miranda Sings is a pedophile, which this is the dog, the dog, forget about it. The dog, so-and-so, so what, so-and-so. We're not saying Miranda Sings has pedophilia tendencies. We're saying she doesn't until we know better. This is some flimsy evidence. But for the purposes of this take, we're pretending that she's a pedophile to get some yuckity yuck up jokes. You see what I'm saying? So Miranda, we don't think you're a pedophile, but for the purposes of this take, we're assuming you're a pedophile. You're playing the part of a pedophile in this skit or this take. It's so funny. Because like Miranda, I thought, once I found out you were a pedophile, it's just like I remember the day I found out that Jopa died. Jopa, no, it's not the day. Jopa made me cry the day he died, but the day I correlate with Miranda Sings is when I found out that Miranda was a pedophilic individual. I remember when Jopa was a pedophilic enabler. I said, oh my God, Jopa, you fucking... Jopa. Miranda, it's the same thing. Miranda, your brunette hair, the fragrance of your brunetteness came wafting through the David Letterman taking whatever it won. You charmed them all. Miranda. When you went with Jerry Seinfeld, you did the cars with the coffee thing. It was disgusting. Jopa was a pedophile. But that wasn't the worst thing. It was worse when I found out that Jopa was a fucking Republican. I thought, Jopa, I found out he was a Republican first. It was like, oh, it hurt me so bad I couldn't believe it. Jopa! Joey P, why you? Oh, Joey's a arch conservative, Reaganite, George Bush, whatever. Who knows? Maybe he was right. Maybe the legacy of Mitt Romney. We could have had a whole different thing with, the other one there, the guy from Arizona, whatever. It doesn't matter. But Jopa, when I found out Jopa was a pedophile, It was almost like the time I found out Joe Powell was a Republican. And then when I found out that Miranda Sings could possibly even, be a pedophile. But then what cheered me up a little bit was the investigator, that turncoat spy that they employed, the producer employed to spy on Miranda. She says, underwear. One of the boys in the group chat who was 14 was in a live stream. So all of a sudden I'm realizing that this girl, and I think this was the little spray tan girl, maybe she ran and got a couple of, rays of tan, because all of a sudden she was going from being a reporter to maybe defending. I don't know. So maybe the little spray tan girl was coming out almost like the Incredible Hulk could come out. So the little spray tan girl says that little boy was in a live stream and Miranda was unboxing unused clothes. Now, we heard these clothes were used panties. So who knows who's saying the truth? Now we're hearing they're in a box, washed, unpacked by Miranda Sings, not pre-used panties. Could be any kind of clothes, but they're underwear. That's a little disarming. One was underwear, one was a bra, and all of a sudden I realized it was a plant by Miranda Sings' enemies. Then all of a sudden I realized it was a plant by Miranda Sings because she's trying to boost up, the revenues. It was a plant by somebody. I'm an idiotic, stupid dog, so I'm not sure. If I was Walter Cronkite, I could figure it out, but I'm not. I don't know if the bra or the underwear planting was from Miranda Sings people or from Miranda's enemies. The boy, according to this interpreter, this guide, this guru who was a spy on Miranda, the boy, she says, I think it was a little spray tan girl, the boy asked as a joke, send me the underwear. And so all of a sudden, a commercial popped up, and I was like, have we made it? YouTube? Have we made it? It said, Blow Job Sports. And I don't know what they were advertising, if it was a sex thing, a gambling thing. It seemed like it was a purgatory issue, a Sodom Gomorrah-esque thing. It says, Blow Job Sports. That was like our sponsor, Blow Job Sports. We don't know if it's like they were taking all your money. We could find you some people to give you a blow job no matter what your situation is. I don't know. But after the commercial, all of a sudden the little spray tan girl pops up and she says, I just want to let you know the funniest thing was, to apologize via a video, a posted video. And this was a little spray tan girl. She took on like this really nasty accent. I thought she had a club, like she was getting ready to club somebody. Then I noticed she had a club in one hand. She had a sickle, a sharpened sickle, like she could lop off body parts in a single swipe. The little spray tan girl was feeling her out. She says, if you show up and you make an apology video with a ukulele song of 10 minutes espousing your victimhood, you ain't, ukulele pornography, ukulele whatever it is, ukulele apology, your ukulele symposium, your ukulele offering, your ukulele artistic endeavor. And, one of the things I wanted to say as a dog was, maybe that's what it was. Maybe Miranda Sings was making an artistic endeavor apology post that the Martians or some people come here and invade or whatever, take away our treasures, or they come even after, bazillions of generations after that, when it's a scarred, desolate land, and they dig up some things. They dig up Miranda Sings crap, and they're like, this Miranda Sings, she was all right. Look what she did for these people. Look how she, she was trying to share some underwear situation. She was a good girl. She wasn't trying to get no pedophilic, things going. She was just trying to boost up her thing and get some more dollars into her bank account. And she sucked at it. She was beautiful, a beautiful brunette girl. Was she getting bored with her life? I'm an idiot, stupid dog. Miranda, come, let's go fly kites together. Let's fly a couple kites together. You'll believe me. You'll love it. It'll be beautiful that way. It doesn't matter. What we're saying now is that this could have happened to anybody. It could have happened to nobody. It should be forgotten, and then we wait and see. if anything else like this pops up, you're like, oh shit, she's a pedophile. But until that day, she's just playing a pedophile in this dog take post situation, playing a pedophile, playing herself as a pedophile, only artistically to make greater and better art. So we should, figure out if we're going to make this kind of art, she could make Ukulele Apology art that is respected. And again, they're going to dig it up, archaeologists from Mars, from Jupiter, from other far distant galaxies. Star Wars people are going to come dig it up. They're going to say, oh my God, Miranda sings. She was so cool. We didn't know. Every history passed down that she was such a bitch, a pedophilic bitch. I'm talking about bazillions of years from now when the stars burn out and everything. Miranda will be known. There'll be Martians or computers will be computating the data. They'll be like, Miranda was cool. She was just like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Miranda was really cool. We didn't know it, but now we do today. But when she died, no one knew. But, today, in the distant future, my dog Remembrance a la carte could tell me that this is a thing where she will be remembered as a winner, as a success, as a stalwart, as a great artist, as a, whatever, like an Andy, at the least an Andy Warhol-esque, situation for herself.